All rise. Support court with Judge Van Der Bee is now in session. Judge's case number JVB 2001, Allen case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Allen, you're back. It looks like you brought someone with you. What's going on?
King. So he's my nephew's father.
Okay.
And I need help, you know. Mom's paying child support. I feel it's only fair that dad pays child support for, you know, his child.
Okay. And you said for your nephew, if I remember correctly, there were 2 children, right?
Yes. He's just the father of the 4-year-old.
All right.
Yes.
All right. But you said he was around. I remember you saying that.
And he even dropped off some school supplies. You know, he brought him a backpack and he got him, you know, the scissors and Crayolas and stuff. But, I mean, he didn't help with school clothes.
All right. Right. Have you ever asked him to help with school clothes or do anything more?
I mean, he knows school starts, you know.
So that's a no?
That's a no.
Okay. How do you know he knows that school started?
I mean, because the summer just ended and the school starts and he knows his baby's gonna go to, you know, kinder. He knows that the baby's starting pre-K. So, you know, he brought school supplies. Why wouldn't he think to bring school clothes?
Well, that's true. That's true. You all have a decent relationship, though.
We do. And he's, you know, he's sometimey. He comes, you know, when he wants. I mean.
That was funny.
Just listening to her, that's it.
Okay. All right. I'll get to you in just a second, okay?
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. Continue.
Basically, that's it, you know. My sister's not doing her part. He does sometimey part, and, you know, it's just getting old.
Okay.
My nephew deserves more.
So at this point, you are wanting to place him on child support?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if, have you talked to him before today? Because I don't know if he knew this because he has this look on his face and shaking his head.
This case isn't just about money. It's about responsibility and the emotional toll of feeling abandoned. Ms. Allen isn't the child's mother, yet she's paying the bills, providing care, and carrying a weight that legally should have never been hers alone.
All right, so is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him? Because it seems like he has a lot to say.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
Okay. Sir, is your last name King or your first name King?
First name's King.
First name is King. What's your last name?
Jackson.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, what's going on here?
You guys tell me. I don't know what's going on here.
You were unaware of the reason that you were coming to court today?
Yeah, I'm just here.
Okay, you got served with paperwork. Did you read it?
No.
So you just showed up without reading? You just came to court not knowing what was going on?
Well, I'm not gonna miss court, so.
Well, I can appreciate that. Thank you. You're about the first person that is come in here and recognize that you should come to court when you're ordered to come to court. But you didn't read the paperwork, so you're not aware of anything.
I'm in a blind about all this, and nothing was discussed or anything like that. Just prior to, sent you a text message here. I think I still got it.
You sent her a text message?
Yeah, we communicate. We communicate back and forth.
Okay.
So for her to say that I'm inconsistent, I don't know where she's getting that from.
Well, how would you describe, you know, you going and seeing your son and everything like that?
Oh, I'm an amazing father, but of course, you know, when you get in court, it's something totally different. So, yeah.
What do you mean by amazing father? Like, explain that to me.
How often do you come and pick up your son?
Excuse me, Miss Allen?
I'm sorry. My apologies.
And I know you know better. You've been here before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't be sorry.
Thank you, Judge.
Just don't do it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Mr. Jackson's defense is familiar. He claims he was never asked directly, that he's stable, that he would have helped. But here's the issue. Children don't grow up on assumptions. Responsibility doesn't wait for an invitation.
You just taking your son?
Yes.
Okay, because you said kids, so I didn't know if this was this child or you had outside children.
No, well, just this one.
Okay, okay, I got you, I follow you.
Yeah.
And
so,
that matters because if you're going to be put on child support, you will get credit for any of the children that you have. You said you work at a bank. How much money do you make?
Say about $60K a year.
Okay, all right. So you pick up your son, you take him places, you do things with him.
Yes.
Do you buy him clothes and everything like that for your home?
Of course.
Okay. As far as Aunt's home though, Miss Allen's home, you don't?
I can't speak for her household. I
Okay.
can only speak for my household and when I have them. So,
All right.
other than that, yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about knowing that you're here today to be placed on child support at her request?
I think it's a waste of time, honestly. I think we could have settled out of court for all this, but hey, you got to go through the process. So let's go through it.
Okay, have you been giving her any financial assistance for your son up until now?
Yes.
All right, how have you been giving her financial assistance?
Whenever she asks.
Okay. How frequent do you ask him?
I don't like to ask frequently because I feel like he knows.
This moment hits hard. The judge cuts through the noise. If you knew this child existed, why didn't you step up? In law, silence isn't protection, it's avoidance. And for a child, that silence can shape their whole life.
I don't like to ask frequently because I feel like he knows his child has needs, wants even, and I don't have to pick up the phone and say, hey, your child's gonna eat today. Hey, look, I even brought my electricity bill, you know, like water,
This
electricity, gas, $435 for electricity. I mean,
What does your bill have to do with my child?
your child lives in my home and
again.
uses this electricity, you know, watching TV or the enjoyment of the air conditioner, you know? I mean, it's just your child, you should pay.
Okay.
Financially.
Once again, you didn't answer the question. What
You're
does your bill have
not,
to do
you're
with my
not,
child?
you don't, if you're not gonna sit your child, if you're not gonna take care of your child and have your child with you, well, then you can pay financially,
Okay.
right?
I choose to have my child with me, but hey, you know how you guys do.
What does that mean? You guys do. What does that mean?
I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, okay. But I asked you to. So what does that mean?
Yes, Your Honor. As I said before, I think I'm an amazing dad. Her and her sister. How can I say it without being rude? They have certain ways about them.
The argument over an electric bill may seem petty, but it's symbolic. Your child uses my electricity. That's not just about lights. It's about invisible labor, unrecognized sacrifice, and the bitterness that grows when one person carries the load alone.
But considering that you all seem to have somewhat of a decent relationship, I just would think this would be a conversation that you all had first to try to see what you can work out. But I mean, nonetheless, we are here today. Do you have access to health insurance?
I do.
All right. Do you know how much it'll cost you to put your son on health insurance?
I don't have an exact number, but I'm pretty sure anywhere between $300 $400
Okay.
a month.
All right. Is it possible that it could be cheaper than $300?
Once again, I'm not sure. I have to go through and find out there, but pretty standard there. I believe it's about $300 $400. I think it might be cheaper, but I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Jackson, this is what we are going to do. We are going to place you on child support today. I mean, at the end of the day, the law is the law. You do have a responsibility to financially support your child, any children that you may have. Your child is living with his aunt. She should receive some sort of financial support in caring for your son, just like the mother does. All right? You understand what I'm saying? So it's not to punish you or anything like that, but she is entitled to receive some sort of support for taking care of your child. All right?
Who's really raising this child? That's the question no one wants to answer, and it's the one the judge keeps circling back to. Not who claims him, not who loves him, but who shows up for him daily, emotionally, financially, legally.
And the last time you were here, I believe you said your nephew had been with you, let me see, I have my notes here, 9 months at the time.
250, there's no way. 250 to 500, there's no way.
Okay.
He'll send like 20 bucks here, 30 bucks here, 40 bucks. I've never received a payment more than $50 ever.
Never?
So is it possible
Sure?
that, excuse me.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm
Excuse me.
sure.
I'll let you
Okay.
guys talk the first time. Now I'm talking. So is it possible that the $250 to $500 is a total based on sending smaller amounts? Is that possible?
Sure.
Because she's saying she hasn't received that in a month.
And like I said, my electricity bill was $430
Once
a
again,
month.
that's not my responsibility.
It's not, but your child lives in my home.
Okay, you keep talking about your bills. You need to
Okay,
focus
well,
on
let
my
me
child,
just clear
okay?
this up. The bills don't matter, okay? I mean, I get what you're saying. I
Yes.
understand. The child lives there. There
It was
are
just,
things that
you
you
know.
have to pay for. I get it.
I was just saying.
His child support is not going to be paid based on your electricity
Absolutely.
bill, your gas bill, any of those
But
bills
he
that
wants
you
to
brought
sit
today.
here and say $250 to $500. That's probably been in a year. And what I was just trying to
Come on
say
now.
is, come on, come on. $500
Come on
in a
now.
year, that's
Come
not
on now.
much.
Well, she did ask for back child support too, so that's the reason that I asked.
At this point, the judge is clearly frustrated. Mr. Jackson keeps citing his schedule and circumstances, but that's not how legal responsibility works. You don't parent based on convenience. You parent because it's your child.
You filed, right? She hasn't filed, you know, it's been fairly recent since she filed. So taking $500 off, that'll probably put you around $2,000 in back pay. And you can pay that back at $100 a month, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. What I'll do is give you credit. I can give you $200 credit for health insurance. Now, if your health insurance ends up being more than that, I can't just say, okay, I'll give you credit for $300 or even more than that without seeing what the actual health insurance premium is going to look like for your son only. So I give you credit for $200, okay?
Okay.
All right, so if I do that with your gross, that brings your gross to $4,800, which means your net is $3,979.47. And you said you have one child, correct?
Have one, expecting one.
Okay, so you have one child that's already here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that is $3,979.47. That's 20%, $795.89. We'll round it up to $796. Plus $100 a month for the back pay that you owe. That makes your monthly child support obligation $896 a month. All right.
Thank you, Your
That's
Honor.
ridiculous.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you all? I mean,
And
it's
my
based on
nephew's
a number.
gonna thank you too. My
It's-
nephew thanks you too.
Okay,
And he'll
that's
thank
great.
you too.
No, your bills, thank you. That's what it is.
Okay, the two of you
Whatever.
hush. Thank.
Mr. Jackson tries to explain his limitations, his job, his effort, his intention, but Ms. Allen shuts it down. We don't need your help. We need your accountability. This is where the emotion peaks. Two adults clashing, one child caught in between.
All right, so as I stated, it's not a punishment or anything like that. It is strictly based on what your income is. Now, if you guys can work together and you decide you want to do something different, you get an agreement or something like that, I would happily entertain that. But until then, this is where we're at today. All right? Do you have any questions, Mr. Jackson?
I bet he don't. my
Money hungry, like I said. No, I'm good. I mean, I got other priorities right now, so.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for showing up for court at
Most
least.
definitely.
other
Thank you.
priorities than his son.
Miss
Other
Allen,
priorities
your
other than
only
his son.
That's not your
priority,
business.
you have two
You want your bills
priorities.
paid,
The
right?
first priority is for you to make the request as you did, and the second one is to hush.
Yes, Your
All right?
Honor.
Anything
You're up.
further?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.